Yeah.
All right. What I'd like to do is have the general and commander place the wreath, the weapons place the wreath. Now we're going to have still shots taken as you go, and we have a video running too. So what we would like you to do is place the wreath against the chain as best you can. Stop for a minute, salute, and say a morning little prayer, and then salute again, and turn around and come back. Okay? So, now we're ready. Guys, we haven't got much time. You can talk later, please. Alright, so move over. You need to move over. Look great. How you doing? You look good. Right here. Okay. Gentlemen, move it in just for a little bit, Bill. Okay? Guys? Okay. All right, guys, get any more pictures? Because that's going to be it. Because we're taking away the general, and I'm going to get my buck shoot already. Okay? Get out of the picture.
How about you getting in here?
No, I'm fine. Listen,
Get in here. Get in here.
No, I'm all right. Let's go. Okay, break it up, guys. That's it. All right. Thank you. We'll go to the hotel. Thank you very much. I'm sorry for being such a pain in the butt.
We expect it.
You feel like you're back in school?
I don't pay attention to
Here, hold this one. Sorry about that, John.
Oh, that's so bossy, but
I gotta get that over there. Why a human being? Yeah. So we have the dynamo. Who's gonna have the floor? I'm gonna give them to you. Yeah. General. Mike.
Hello, Mike.
Well, he's a little bit reclusive.
I know. Is he? Okay. He won't be
He
today.
won't be here.
Okay. He's still in Lynn.
Yeah, still in
Yeah.
Lynn.
I was just telling him from when he played with Father Arco CYO team at St. James.
He was the second best second baseman. You know who the first was.
Yeah.
Al Irzyk. Glad to see you.
Nice to see you, Joe.
Al Irzyk.
Larry McIntyre. Head of the park department.
Oh, is that right? You're head of the park department?
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are...
And this is a visit of Billy Mundergan.
Oh,
I used to be with the 4th Armored Division.
were you?
I was over in Ulm, 62, 3, and 4.
Oh, yeah?
Yep.
62, 64.
General Franklin was the commanding general.
Yeah.
Next door. He was great last night. He was great.
He always looks so nice in there.
Thanks.
Just
Thank
like
you.
he was sitting next to me, and then we finally found out.
Your husband was awesome last night. Did a great job.
Thanks. Thank you. They all thank you.
Good.
Right outside with Albin Irzyk.
Well, I hope he comes soon.
Right up there.
Now we have to wait. We get like, you know, they're in the neighborhood.
Good. Say hello to the camera. This is going to be all over the city. Theo Joe does it on the road show.
On the road.
Yeah. Theo, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, don't.
Thank you, General.
See you later.
Hey, Rich, how you doing?
Did we not sign buddies? Oh, that is wonderful. Okay,
Be
great.
nice up there.
Shall we? Follow those lovely police officers, man. Yes, thank you.
Mary, I'm so glad you
Maureen, you want to sit on Daddy's lap?
Oh, yeah, that was an option.
We're gonna be down again.
Yeah, we enjoyed it. Okay, it was fun.
Single Island is just
Yeah.
from where we live.
Well, we're down, like I said, because I know that the general is down this part of Florida, and that he's very never
Promise now.
You were in South Dakota.
Out in South Dakota.
He needs vacation again. Learn how to relax.
Don't wait till the winter now. Anytime now. Whenever you need a break.
I had the greatest vacation of my life down Singer Island.
Did you? How long were you there?
Deals with Point Marion.
Eight days. I'm going to cut this one.
Section goes on. Mary was worried about it. She said, "It's how to give a party and have nobody show up."
Yeah.
We got a crowd. It's called a weekend.
It doesn't happen very often. Yep.
Boy, what a setup that is.
Stay right there.
General, Your Honor? Hold it, please. You want to just put it down? We always want you to go in together.
Oh, okay, sure. I'm right with that.
Thank you.
Ask everyone to rise. Issue a rise.
Okay, we're all ready?
Come up to the podium now.
Your Honor? General? Hey, what a beautiful picture.
Mary just said wait until she gets up there and makes the announcement to take a ride.
All right, General. General, we're ready for you. Present. Pump. Wait till the general's
Ladies and
announced.
gentlemen, please stand as our distinguished guests, Brigadier General Albin Irzyk and his wife Evelyn, and our host
Your Honor, you may...
Action Marine approach the distinguished visitors platform. If you could please remain seated.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this very special ceremony honoring a very special man. Before we begin with our program, I would like to introduce some of our honored guests. Celebrating with us today are Representative J. Michael Ruane, Judge Thaddeus Butchko, the Commander of the Veterans Council, Mr. Robert Crowley, and General Irzyk's children, Mrs. Jane Irzyk Mize, Mr. Albin Irzyk Jr., and Mrs. Laura Irzyk Osmond. To begin our ceremony honoring Brigadier General Albin Irzyk, I would like to introduce the Reverend Stanley Pathenchik. Reverend Pathenchik is the pastor of St. John the Baptist Church here in Salem.
We are gathered here today to participate in the ceremony to honor the most distinguished guest, Brigadier General Albin Irzyk. The city of Salem and our country have been truly blessed by God to have a native son achieve outstanding life goals to give better mankind in the service of the United States. We are happy that General Albin Irzyk has returned many times to visit his birthplace in Salem, where he grew up in the Polish community, attended local schools and our Polish church. All the citizens in the city of Salem are happy to recognize him as an outstanding man, and we are equally proud of his Polish heritage and citizenship in Salem. We are grateful to the Almighty God for giving us General Albin Irzyk at this ceremony. Lord, we sing your praises without ceasing, and by giving us rest and healthy recreation, you refresh our bodies and minds. We entreat your kindness that this memorial park and its festivities to honor our the most distinguished veteran General Albin Irzyk will contribute to leisure activities that renew the spirit and strengthen mind and body. Grant that all who meet here may find the enrichment of companionship and together offer you the praise. May Almighty God bless you, dear friends, in this memorial park, in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.
Thank you, Reverend. Our ceremony today celebrates not only General Irzyk's extraordinary military career, in service to his country, but also his pride in his hometown and his Polish heritage. As a symbol of the pride we have for him, we'll be entertained by some young dancers, also from St. John the Baptist Church, who will be performing a traditional Polish dance. of a true American hero. A hero who has put his life at risk to save others. A hero who has put his talents and skills to work for his country. A hero who understood the meaning of the words sacrifice, duty, and integrity. Because a true hero is such a rare thing, we often lose sight of what really defines one. When a pitcher pulls out a save in the 11th inning and wins the game, he might be hailed as a hero. And although the accomplishment on the sports page are praiseworthy, they are not the stuff of real heroes. When a politician wins a battle in the legislature that results in laws that improve life for her or his constituents, the word hero might crop up in the headlines. And although this is an important way of, to indicate our lives, it falls short of the hero's litmus test. For instance, when a CEO sacrifices a pay raise and instead takes a pay cut to ensure a plant stays open and other people keep their jobs, he might very well be labeled a hero. And although that action is deserving of much praise and attention, once again, the word hero has been misplaced. What then should we consider heroic? Heroism, at its very core, is an act of pure unselfishness. It is action taken with little regard for personal safety, but action taken with the knowledge that it will make a difference, that it will turn the tide, it will win the day. Reckless abandon might have the heart of a hero, but true heroism takes guts and brains. Heroism, at its very core, is an act of sacrifice of the greatest proportions for the greater good. It comes from a sacrifice that can change everything in a person's life in an instant if things go wrong. A hero sees the sacrifice and acts anyway. The gentleman we honor here today has proven his unselfishness. He has made that sacrifice. He has fought the long battles. He has saved the day. And he didn't do it to glorify himself. He didn't do it to win medals. And he didn't do it to grab headlines. He did it for the greater good, for his men, and for his country. And what makes this hero all the more special is that he's one of our own. He's a man who grew up not far from where we stand now. He played baseball here, and very well, I might add. This student athlete's potential was recognized early on. When he graduated from Salem High, he was voted most likely to succeed. And at what is now UMass, he continued to succeed, earning varsity letters in baseball and football, and being recognized with an award for the outstanding member of the football team, as well as being selected as the College Man of the Year. He's a Salem boy who made good. His academic and athletic credentials alone make us proud of him. But that's not how he put those talents to use that made us honor him today. Intelligence and agility don't make heroes. It's honor and integrity and responsibility and compassion that take those skills to the next level, that separate those who hesitate from those who act. Today we are grateful that we have the chance to be the ones that act. We are thankful that we have had the chance to recognize a native son who has given so much to our country. We are proud to say we share the same hometown. We are honored by his presence. On behalf of the good citizens of the city of Salem, I would like to say thank you, Brigadier General Al Irzyk, a true son of Salem. And a true hero to us all. Now, the next speaker happens to be tied up in Washington, D.C. Our good friend, John Tierney, who would very much like to be here today, General, has sent his regrets, but he has also sent on a congressional citation, which I'd like to read to you now. If I could have you up for just a second. This is a certificate of special congressional recognition presented to Brigadier General Albin F. Irzyk on the occasion of the dedication of Irzyk Park in Salem, Massachusetts, and in recognition of his 31 years of distinguished and honorable service to his country. And it was authored by our Congressman John F. Tierney.
Thank you very much.
General, if you and your children could come.
Thank you.
The General and his children and grandchildren are about to unveil the plaque for Irzyk Park.
General, could you do turn around with your back to that? Do a little bit. All the way around. Don't face me a little bit. You face me? Yeah. Yeah, just like you are, so I can get both of you in there.
Oops.
Very good.
Extraordinary heroism for his actions in combat. During his 31 years as a military officer, this devoted patriot and warrior earned the respect of his subordinates and senior officers. Fought gallantly for his country and brought great credit on himself, his service, and his hometown. We grateful appreciation for his commitment, loyalty, and sacrifice. This path is dedicated to him.
Donald, take a picture of me and the General. Over here.
Hold on. Hold on. One more time. Good shot.
Now I'd like to introduce our guest of honor. Brigadier General Albin Irzyk.
Thank you. Your Honor, Mayor Yusevich, the Reverend Father, I appreciate your very, very impressive prayer. Members of the City Commission, City Council, I guess you call it. Members of the Park and Recreation Committee, all of my fellow veterans under the umbrella of the Salem Veterans Council and its commander, Robert Crowley, members of the Polish community, my relatives, friends, and the good citizens of Salem. Today, there is an individual who would very much have liked to have been here, would have wanted very much to be here, but recently passed away. His name is Ed Lubash. He was a friend of mine and a very active member of the Veterans Council. Last August, on the Saturday before the Heritage Parade, I was at his home on Victory here. He showed me proudly around his garden, and I understand it was while he was tending his beloved garden that he passed away. So we regret that Ed Lubash cannot be here. As you might expect, this is a very emotional day for me, so as I go along, please bear with me. I love Salem. I always have. I have always been proud to say I am from Salem. I've traveled all over the world. I've met many people. And when you meet someone for the first time, he invariably asks, "Where are you from?" And I have proudly said, Salem, Mass. And do you know that virtually every individual who asked that question would answer, "Oh yes, I know about Salem." I can count on one hand almost the number of people who have never heard of Salem, Mass. And as you probably are aware, Salem, Mass, our little city here, has more history than many, many of our states. Salem is my hometown. I was born here, I was raised here, I had a great boyhood in this town. And as the mayor mentioned, one of the things I did a great deal of was to play baseball. I played baseball at Forest River, Palmer's Cove, Rowell's Field, Knack Park, Gallows Hill. Anywhere there was a ballpark, I played there. I started by playing for my playground team, Rowell's Field, played for the American Legion, played for Salem High, played for the University Club and Almies and the Beavers and the Proctors, and the last team I played for was the great Salem News team. I left here to go to college. I left here to go to war. And it was on December 25th, Christmas Day of 1943, that I said goodbye to my family. And on that evening, my mother clung to me until I had to break away because I had to be at Camp Miles Standish outside of Taunton before midnight. And a couple of days later, we sailed out to Boston Harbor. I returned here after World War II, and it was from here that I started my career in the military. And over the years, I've returned to Salem as often as I could. First to visit my mother and father, then my father, then my aunt and uncle Bishop and Clara Satella. And after Clara was widowed, I came here every other month for 3 years. And while Clara rested or napped, I roamed the city. I visited all my old haunts. And as I did that, I remembered that as a youth, when I walked the streets of Salem, cars would stop and ask directions and ask questions. And as they pulled away, I noticed they had out-of-state license plates. And even as a youth, I said, gee, we have this much history here. Why don't we exploit it? And I must say that Salem has done a tremendous job, a magnificent job of sharing its history with visitors. Now, when I see people, they have maps and papers in their hand, they seem to know where they're going, and you even have red stripes painted on the sidewalks. So you're doing a great job of sharing your history with the thousands of visitors who come here. And as I roamed the city, everywhere I turned, I was reminded of something that I had done in my youth. I was reminded as well of the people in Salem who in one way or another had an influence on my life. The teachers at the Phillips Grammar School, the librarians at the branch library, they were the ones that taught me to love books. I had outstanding teachers in high school. Some of them were so good that I put them on a pedestal. And there were many individuals like John W. Martin and Dr. Stramsky and my coach, Glenn O'Brien, and my family doctor, whose son was my best friend, Dr. Finnegan. As I stand here, I'm flooded with memories, as you might expect, and I feel overcome with nostalgia. What an appropriate place to have this done. There was a wise man who once said, "What you are to be, you are now becoming." Well, whatever I was to be, it was coming right here. My roots are right here. My boyhood home is here. If I was in shape, I could throw a baseball and hit my home right there. But when I lived on 6 Derby Street, the first house on Derby Street, there was no New England power. The water was right across the street. The harbor hadn't been filled in. And when we had storms and northeasters, the waves would splash on the road, and many a morning I got up with tin cans and seaweed on my front doorstep. And Rowell's Field, the Ward 1 playground, was just about 5 minutes from here. I recall also that from Webb Street to my home, there was nothing but a billboard advertising Camel cigarettes. I remember having Boy Scout meetings at the old fraternity on Central Street. It's still there, it has a plaque on it, but it's now antique shop. Well, I would leave there about 10 o'clock, and when I reached Webb Street, it was pitch dark. So I quickened my pace, and as I was halfway home, there was a beach on my right, and there were boats, and under the boats, there were cats. And the cats were screaming and yelling. They sounded like babies being punished. By that time, I jumped into a fast trot, and when I was inside the kitchen and slammed the door, I did it with great relief. Now, right here is the firehouse. That was not there. Behind it was a depression. It froze over. And in the wintertime, we skated there. That was the frog pond. And if we played hockey, we had to go down the Willows to Gorman's, and that's where the baseball field is now. There were no homes from here to the Willows. It was all open, rolling terrain. And I used to jog up the cinder path often before going to school in the morning. But some of my happiest days were Sundays in the summertime. I would rush home from church, have a quick dinner. It was called breakfast, dinner, and supper in those days. And then I would rush to Rowell's Field, and at 3 o'clock I would climb into the bleachers, and the St. Joe's or the Falcons would have a baseball game. It cost nothing. They passed the hat around. The adults would put money in their cap. And that was a great brand of ball. And little did I know when I sat there that one day I'd be playing that ball on that same field. But then after the game was over, the people didn't rush into their cars to go home. There were no cars, so they walked back to Derby Street. But I crossed the street and ran up the hills toward the Willows. And one of my favorite places to stop was Fort Lee, where the cannons were. And I climbed all over the cannons. I played all kinds of mind games. And then I went down the Willows, and I had 11 cents in my pocket. My mother gave me 11 cents. And when I got down to the Willows, I bought a dome-shaped ice cream cone for a nickel and a bag of colored sugar popcorn for 6 cents. And I took the popcorn and the ice cream. We're out on the pier, down on the beach, and ate it. And by that time, it started to get dark, and I would head for home. And when I got home, I was tired, and I was very, very happy. Can you imagine young people getting satisfaction out of that kind of a day? But many years later, I was able to introduce my children to Salem, and they too spent many happy hours at the Willows. As a matter of fact, my children and my grandchildren and I and Evelyn today at 11 o'clock were playing skee ball at the Willows. So I've never forgotten Salem, but as it turns out today, and as some of you may remember, Salem has never forgotten me. Any youth worth his salt dreams of someday returning to his hometown to be honored by its citizens. Well, that happened to me in 1946. I came home. I stayed in the war after it was over in the occupation, and I finally got a short leave, came home in the spring of 46. I out-processed at Fort Devens. I got to the North Station by train, and when I got to the North Station, my father and a delegation from Salem were waiting for me, including a military escort, and I rode to Salem in the fire chief's car. And we stopped first to see my mother, whom I hadn't seen in over 2.5 years, for a quick reunion, and then on to City Hall, where the folks of Salem had a reception for me and thanked me for my wartime service. And that meeting was presided over by one of your predecessors, Mayor Coffey. And then, just a year ago, I was invited and honored to be the Grand Marshal at the Heritage Parade. And after the parade, the mayor and the Veterans Council had a reception. They said many warm, fine things and presented me with some very valued mementos. And on the plane the next day going home, I turned to Evelyn and I said, gee, things can't get better than this. They can't top that one. Little did I know, I'll be back for this less than a year later. I've had a long and eventful life, but this just has to be one of the most momentous, unforgettable experiences of that life. I have never before been to a ceremony where something was named for someone. This is a first, and to have this name for me is just unbelievable. Now, on an occasion like this, an individual reaches out for the right words. I'm reaching out, but I'm not sure I can get the right words. But I want everyone here to know that I am greatly, profoundly honored. I'm deeply touched, deeply moved, and eternally grateful for the magnitude of this event. Above all, I feel very, very humbled to realize that there is now a spot in my hometown with my name on it. Today, and long after I'm gone. So I feel very humble also to realize how many people it took to put all of this on, to have the vision, and to do the hard work to make this happen. And this is far beyond anything I ever imagined when I was a youth roaming the streets of Salem. So I realize that many people and many organizations were obviously involved, and I know that this is a tremendous community effort. And I say with unqualified admiration, there is no city that could or would put something like this on other than Salem, Mass. So the whole, so all of you, the whole city should feel very, very proud. Now, I will later know all who are involved in making this happen, but I'd like to thank some in advance. First, the mayor, for your leadership and your dedication to this whole project. my thanks. I had the unanimous support of the city councilors. Thank you very much. The Park and Recreation Commission. Thank you very much. And the Veterans Council and all the veterans under its umbrella and its leader, Commander Crowley, and my good friend, Martineau, who pulled a lot of strings. And there are many individuals involved, and one who you know and I know is involved in every civic enterprise that you have, my father's friend, my longtime friend, Ted Butzko. And although not directly involved in the planning, I'd like to thank my immediate family for their love and support. They have come from San Diego, New Orleans, Atlanta, Chicago, Illinois, and Naperville, Illinois. And of course, there's Evelyn. What can I say about Evelyn? She stood by and supported me for 53 years. She supported me through thick and thin. Yes, there was a lot of thick. There was also a lot of thin. Not easy being an Army wife. On short notice, she had to dismantle homes, pull the children out of schools and away from their friends, on to the next station. She made 23 moves in 25 years. Thank you. Lastly, every endeavor, every operation, every event, every ceremony to succeed has to have what I call a spearhead. And that spearhead is someone who has vision, is bold, pull the right strings, works very, very hard, does a lot of coordinating, and yet accomplishes much. This ceremony today had such a spearhead, and for spearheading this operation, I'd like to now recognize former Air Force Major Mary Feltholt. Mary. Where is she? Where's Mary? Thank you very much.
Thank you, General Irzyk. And thank you all for coming out today to honor the most distinguished veteran. A special thanks to the United States Air Force Band of Liberty members from Hanscom Air Force Base. Thank you. The members of the 101st Field Artillery Unit, Bravo Battery, for their rousing salute. Delightful Polish dances from St. John the Baptist Church. And to all our special friends and family who took time to be with us today. I would invite you all to join the General and Mrs. Irzyk in the tent behind us for some refreshments, but I'd ask you first to please stay in your seats until the General and Mrs. Irzyk have a chance to leave the stage at least. And again, thank you for attending.